All right, library haul.
Movie time.
We got a lot this time, so this might be lengthy. Starting off strong, Super Mario Bros. The movie tells the story of two Brooklyn plumbers who are brothers and best friends. Mario, the brave one, with the let's-a-go attitude, and the perpetually anxious Luigi, who would prefer to go nowhere. We open with the Super Mario Brothers reckoning with their struggling plumbing business and wind up in a whirlwind adventure through Mushroom Kingdom. Through their journey, we meet a cast of familiar, lovable characters, ultimately uniting together to defeat the power-hungry villain Bowser. Sounds like a banger. Been wanting to watch that for a bit.
I heard it was a banger too.
Next up, Bones and All. Bones and All is a story of first love between Marin, a young woman learning how to survive on the margins of society, and Lee, an intense and disenfranchised drifter. It's a liberating road odyssey of two young people coming into their own, searching for identity and chasing beauty in a perilous world that cannot abide who they are. I know for sure that this movie is about cannibalism. And that blurb was not gonna tell you that this is about cannibalism, but it is. That was like in the trailers.
Timothy.
Next up we have Inocente Tentacion. The synopsis is Anna and her friends are in a group of girls who go out on weekends in search of a fun and new adventure. But this time would be different. After a disappointment in love, Anna decides to stay home, but Fer, Ale, and Gabby, her best friends, convince her that that night would be unforgettable. At the best moment of the party, Anna meets Fabrizio and is convinced that he is the love of her life. But everything takes an unexpected turn when Fabrizio makes her an irresistible proposal. Boom. I'm expecting loads of drama. Next up is Women Talking. In 2010, the women of an isolated religious community grapple with reconciling their reality with their faith, based on the novel by Miriam Toews. So, no information about that at all, other than women are talking and they're grappling with faith. Next up is The Lobster. This is a Yorgos movie, so you know it's probably going to be really good. Also, he signed the petition to be one of the actors who don't work with any sort of like Israeli company and what have you. Well, he's not an actor, he's a director, but he signed that. So I'm going to be watching all of his movies.
Word.
Colin Farrell, Rachel Weisz, and John C. Reilly star in this wickedly funny romance set in the near future. The story centers on recently divorced David. As he searches for a new love, he has just 45 days, at which point, if he is single, he will be turned into a lobster. That is kind of insane.
A lobster.
Next up, this was requested by Weston. Pulp Fiction. Do you want me to read the blurb, or do you want to go in blind?
You could read the blurb. You read the blurb for all the others.
Yeah, but this one you really wanted to watch.
Yeah, but...
Okay. Where does the blurb start is the question. Writer-director Quentin Tarantino delivers an unforgettable cast of characters, including a pair of low-rent hitmen, their boss's sexy wife, and a desperate prize fighter, in a wildly entertaining and exhilarating motion picture adventure that both thrills and amuses. So that's about fair. Cadejo Blanco is next up. So this is after a late night out in Guatemala City, Sarita begins to panic the next morning when she realizes that her sister Bea never made it home. Convinced that Bea's disappearance must have something to do with her dangerous ex, Andres' unwavering determination to uncover the truth, Sarita becomes increasingly involved with Andres and his ruthless, violent world.
Oh, man.
Next up is Wit. Vivian Beering is an English professor with a biting wit that educates but also alienates her students. With her teaching and life both rigidly under control, Vivian would never let down her defenses until the day comes when they are taken down for her. Diagnosed with a devastating illness, Vivian agrees to undergo a series of procedures that are brutal, extensive, and experimental. For 8 months of her life, must take an uncharted course. No longer a teacher but a subject for others to study, Vivian Beering is about to discover a fine line between life and death that can only be walked with wit. Cool. Next up, A Simple Favor. A Simple Favor, directed by Paul Feig, centers around Stephanie, a mommy vlogger who seeks to uncover the truth behind her best friend Emily's sudden disappearance from their small town. Stephanie is joined by Emily's husband Sean in this stylish thriller filled with twists and betrayals, secrets and revelations, love and loyalty, and murder and revenge.
Whoa. Murder.
Next up is Roma. So, where does the blurb start? With his 8th and most personal film, Alfonso Cuarón recreated the early 1970s Mexico City of his childhood, narrating a tumultuous period in the life of a middle-class family through the experiences of Cleo, the indigenous domestic worker who keeps the household running. Charged with the care of 4 small children abandoned by their father, Cleo tends to the family even as her own life is shaken by personal and political upheavals. Yeah. Cool. Roma. Next up, Do the Right Thing. I've never seen this still. It's the hottest day of the summer. You can do nothing, you can do something, or you can do the right thing. Directed by visionary filmmaker Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing is one of the most thought-provoking and groundbreaking films for the last 20 years. The controversial story centers around one scorching inner-city day when racial tensions reach the boiling point in a tough Brooklyn neighborhood. This powerful landmark film combines humor and drama with memorable characters, capturing an unforgettable piece of American history. I'm excited for that. Next up is Contact. The exciting adventure of the day we make contact with life beyond Earth comes to the screen with a profound sense of wonder and dazzling visual sweep that extends to the outer reaches of space and the imagination. Jodie Foster is astronomer Ellie Arroway, a woman of science. Matthew McConaughey is religious scholar Palmer Joss, a man of faith. They're opposite ends of a spectrum and sudden players on the world stage as the countdown to humanity's greatest journey begins. Cool. And last but not least, we have Columbus. When a renowned architecture scholar falls suddenly ill during a speaking tour, his son Jin finds himself stranded in Columbus, Indiana, a small Midwestern city celebrated for its many significant modernist buildings. Jin strikes up a friendship with Casey, a young architecture enthusiast who works at the local library. As their intimacy develops, Jin and Casey explore both the town and their conflicted emotions. Jin's estranged relationship with his father, and Casey's reluctance to leave Columbus and her mother. Cool. With its naturalistic rhythms and empathy for the complexities of families, debut director Kogo Nada's Columbus unfolds as a gently drifting, deeply absorbing conversation. Cool.
Word.
That's what we got.